Hi guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. When I am not positive, shit falls apart in my life. And I've seen it firsthand. It's a vicious cycle. I should probably make my bed. Watch this, it's gonna be really cool. Cool transition moment. Let's head to my sanctuary. Safe sanctuary. We all have stuff that we deal with on the daily basis, okay? Sometimes I wonder if there's ever even like a such thing as a utopia that exists. Get me a ticket there, please! Honestly, I think something that comes with existing is learning. We're constantly learning every single day. There's always new things that come our way, and everyone is going through a different phase of life at different times, okay? And we gotta learn. That part is absolutely cool. That's fine. Yay, wow. Being positive makes a really big difference. My therapist showed me some exercise where you actually are aware of your thoughts. It's kind of annoying and hard at first because you're like being very aware of what type of thoughts you have. You're constantly just like, oh, this thought, that thought, you're being aware. When you do that exercise, you will notice that we all have a lot of negative thoughts, man. It just happens. Like, you could be stuck in traffic. Oh, there's so much traffic. Or like, oh, I don't want to go to work. Or, oh, I don't want to make myself food. As a human society, we're very negative. But I started to notice this, and I started to make the changes to actually think more positively. And now it comes so natural to me that I don't know how to exist without being positive. The importance of positivity is something that's not talked about as much in like school and in our society, so you know I'm gonna be talking about it on this channel. So let's ponder positivity. The way Google defines positivity is kind of like using the word optimist. Optimism means that you're having a positive or a good outlook on certain things, which means that you are viewing things in a way and in a manner that good things and good outcomes will come from that. And there's a lot of people in this world, and you might be one of them, who's a pessimist. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe the quality of life that you're living as a pessimist is not the best. You think of the worst case scenario and then you make decisions based off of that. That is living in a scarcity mindset, and a lot of people do this because guess what? That's the safest way of living life. I urge you to think about what the worst thing that can happen in any situation. If the worst thing that can happen isn't even that bad, then stop being a fucking pessimist and just go. Grow some balls and do what you want to do in life. Being positive helps you grow them balls. Being positive helps you do things that you would have never done before in your entire life. For example, a positive person will see a new adventure that they want to work on. This could be maybe music, this could be maybe a new profession, whatever it is. And the positive person will have the best outlook on it, and they will be more likely to actually start the steps to doing that thing. So they will actually sit down and take action. People who are pessimists and who are negative, you guys are the thinkers. You guys just constantly think. You have an entire beautiful board of realistic, practical things that are correct, but you're just stuck in the thinking phase. You will never actually get to the starting phase because you view things in a negative light. You already see your failures before even seeing what could potentially be an experience. By the way, when I say you guys, I'm talking about old me too. I was a very negative / pessimist person, which was for some reason glamorized because I was very analytical, and sometimes being a more analytical person, although it's not bad, can lead you to being pessimist, which can lead you to being negative, which can come across and affect your whole day-to-day being. Anyways, in our society, it's almost like we're taught don't start anything unless you know you're gonna succeed, which to me is bullshit. You starting something, trying it out for the experience, perhaps having the best experience ever, and then saying, oh, you know what, I had this experience, I'm kind of done with it, let me move on. There, that's what you got out of it, and that's totally cool. But what everyone else and what you are conditioned to think is, oh, I wasted so much time, I'm a failure because I left this thing and I didn't go through with it, which is also linked to you caring a lot about what other people think about you. Being a negative / pessimist person is really foundationed on the belief system that you are trying to please everyone else. It's a people-pleasing sort of mentality. So all of these things that I'm talking about is why living in a positive mindset is so much better than all the other shit. When I started to just become a more positive bitch, I became a more spiritual bitch too. And for those of you who get confused with spirituality, there's no definition to it. It's just you and your connection to the world that you're living in. No one can tell you you're right or wrong. Nobody. It's you and the universe, and you have the right to think like that. That's it. So anyways, I became much more spiritual in the sense that I started to connect to things better. I started connecting to nature. I started connecting more to myself. I started feeling less stress about my life. I stopped worrying about if I'm going to make it as someone, if I'm going to be rich and successful. These things should be byproducts. If you're truly doing what you love, which will only happen if you're a positive person, then you will reap the fruits of your labor. That's gonna happen. And if you're truly someone who's actually doing what you love, you don't care about that because you love the process. You love your day-to-day. You love waking up and doing what you are loving to do. Life can be like this for everyone, but it starts off with your brain, which is why this whole video is about how positivity literally can shift your whole life. Now, let's talk a little bit about manifestations and all that stuff. What is manifestation? Manifesting something means that you materialize something that's in your head. That can only be done if you have full faith in what you are trying to manifest and if it's also aligned to you. So there's a lot of different things in play. Also, I'm a firm believer that you can't have everything under control, so there's also a divine that's helping you through everything, but that's beside the point. When manifesting something, you need to be consistent, you need to work hard, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? You need to be positive. If you're not positive about what you're trying to manifest, you don't believe it, which means you don't have faith. So everything comes back to positivity, and it is amazing because as humans, we have this under our control. Our thoughts are under our control. Am I saying that this is easy? Of course not. I would actually say this is the hardest thing to do, is to not let your thoughts control you, but instead be aware of your thoughts. From whatever I've learned so far from reading books and talking to other people and listening to podcasts and whatnot, I know that we need to be in a state of mind where we are just aware of our thoughts, but we don't get so emotionally tangled up in them. In society, in their day-to-day being, we tend to get really wound up in our thoughts. We end up feeling the emotions our thoughts are trying to bring to us, and then we end up getting wound up and we're suddenly in a not so good mood for no reason. But just be aware of them. And this exercise that I mentioned at the beginning, which is to just be aware of your thoughts and to be able to pick out which ones are negative, which ones are positive, it will help you slowly stop having so many negative thoughts, or at least become aware of when you have a negative thought. I still have negative thoughts, but I'm aware that I'm having a negative thought and I turn that shit around right away. You flip that shit. So you gotta kind of fake it till you make it. Now it's more robotic for me to just only think positive, because why would I not want to live my life like that? Like, if you think about it more holistically, why would you not rather want to live your life in a positive state of being as opposed to negative? Just your morning waking up is easier if you're positive. You're not dreading your day for no reason. You're changing the narrative. That is how manifestation happens. That is how you reach your goals, and that is how you can literally be happier. Just try new things in life. Don't worry about what the end goal is. Don't worry about productivity. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Try new things, whatever it is that you want to do, and do it in a positive way. Even if you fail at something, you can switch the narrative and just tell yourself that you did that for the experience, and it was a great experience and you learned from it, and now you can move on. I'm trying to understand, actually, like personally, I'm trying to understand, how did this happen? Like, is it in school we just, I don't know, somehow like just having tests and we got mentally conditioned that like higher grades means happiness, lower grades means no happiness and sadness, when really lower grades, you could change the narrative on lower grades and just be like, this is a horrible grade, but I'm going to learn from my mistakes, I'm going to study harder, and I'm going to get good grades, but this bad grade is not going to drag me down. See, you can literally change the narrative on everything. That's all I'm gonna talk about in this video. Keep thriving, stay positive. Thanks guys for watching my video. If you enjoy content like this, subscribe to my channel. Much love to you guys. See you guys next video.